Where are you from, Bradley?
From Marlborough, from Alex, near the neighborhood, like the township.
What was it like growing up there?
So I got bullied a lot because of being like feminine and whatnot. So, and also because of being a dancer, because it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? In the hood.
Really?
And my family didn't like it.
So, was it something that you had to keep secret?
Yeah. Like I would like run away from home and go do the dancing.
So in the community that you were living in as a child, were there places that you remember seeing queer people or gay or lesbian or transgender people within the communities?
Actually, we moved to this new place and my mom had this gay friend, but then she just thought it was a friend that was feminine as well, you know, because it's okay to them to be like feminine, but then once you start dating boys, it's like, what are you doing? You should stop.
Really?
No, stop it.
Whatever my lot thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul, it is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul.
When it came to me wanting to live to be who I was and be free in who I was, it was very difficult for me because I know my mother and my family are very religious and they believe that homosexuality is a sin and there's no really give and take in that. So much so that when I came out, my family, they, for lack of a better term, shunned me.
That sin nature, I'll get down one with the other one, but that perverted homosexual spirit is a spirit of delusion and confusion, and it has deceived many men and women. And it's caused a stain on the body of Christ. And those homosexual spirits have been angry, and they come up against it. You gotta love everybody. Spit out the serpent. Come on. You cannot give instruction to God holiness with that much perversion.
What were some of the things that you would hear from the pulpit about sexuality?
A man is not to lay with another man. Being gay is an abomination to God. Those are like two of the strongest things that you would constantly hear.
And what does that do? Because a lot of people just say, oh, well, we're just going by God's teachings. What does that do to a young boy when he's struggling with his identity and he hears that? What did that do to you?
It destroys him. You know, and I'm made by God. So you're telling me that the man that made me hates me because of how he made me. And then, you know, you have people that want to come back and say, oh, it's a choice, you chose it, you know.
Over the last 5 years, we have tracked more than 140 murders of transgender people. This is an epidemic that is touching transgender people throughout this country, particularly Black transgender women.
Whereas in other scenarios, we are at a memorial. Our time to seek justice is now.
Malaysia is one of at least 18 trans women of color who've been killed this year alone. The real number likely higher. The data shows the trans identity of nearly 3/4 of victims is initially left out from police and media reports.
Trans rights are human rights! Trans rights are human rights!
The American Medical Association calling the violence an epidemic.
Malaysia Booker, say her name.
Malaysia Booker!
Tell me about that moment where you felt things changing for yourself and other people were seeing that change.
It kind of began to be scary, honestly. It was like, am I gonna lose people in my life that I love dearly because of the changes that I'm going to make that I feel that is beneficial for myself? And I just didn't want to actually make that transition at that time to go ahead and just do it full through. So I just somewhat preserved that time to try to make more people understanding, but you really can't make anyone understanding.
Point because you brought up like this separation in the LGBT community amongst still black and whites, which I think for a lot of straight people, you come in with this ignorance that all gay people are the same. Everybody's like the exact same, but there's still a lot of separation even within a marginalized community. So can you talk about the
So the intersectionality between being black and gay, I had more difficulties dealing with my sexuality and intersection everything from a gay standpoint than a black standpoint, because for the most part, the community, as much as you probably think it wouldn't be, is racist. Is we have a very small outlet of people to look at for ourselves when it comes to publicity, media, and things of that nature. And since we already have such like a small sect of people to look at, it's even more based on the stereotypes. Like you have to be tall, white, this, that, and the third, and that's like the standard. So many people look at that, and it's even more heightened in the gay community. So it's even more racist than what you would expect it to be. So a lot of times, I would go on like social media, dating apps and stuff like that. And then they would say things like, they have in their posts, no blacks, no this, no that. And like your race was like seen as like a negative.
Anything God gives you, it's not yours, it's His. And God gave it to you to be a blessing for somebody else.
I like to say for like anyone out there like watching this, feel comfortable being yourself. Come out on your own terms and do things, but I feel like it's up to us to really like push the bar and set the standard and not let other people like take our power away from us, because life is short and we owe it to ourselves to live as fully as we have the opportunity to. And I'm not saying, if you're in a dangerous situation and you don't have the capability to come, take it at your own step. But really like push the bar and set the standard and make, your life what you want it to be. Don't live by other people's values and standards and let them like ruin what it truly makes you special.